And we're back. All right. Thankfully, my camera is not jacked up. So I got the knot out of the string. I don't know if you could see that before, but I had this string tied up to the body up in here to keep it from flapping around too much. So, because I've noticed before I added the strings, just FYI with these mud flaps that West Virginia state requires for some stupid reason, when you have a raised vehicle, it flaps around too much and sometimes it'll get caught on the tire and get pulled up into the wheel well and cause frustration. So I have this string tied up to the frame. When I'm done, my plan is to tie the string up to this part of the bar right here so it'll keep the mud flap stable and from flapping around. But anyway, alright, so I got the knot out. Now let's see if the picture, I can't tell what you can see. There's me. I don't know. Okay, I just got to angle the screen properly so I can make sure I've got a good picture. I don't want you guys to be watching a bunch of blurry nonsense while I'm doing this. So, alright, so I mean that looks like a pretty good vantage point, possibly. I kind of wish I had a camera guy. Somebody here to do cameras. Do the camera for me. Alright, so I got the bushings. You can see I got the bushing there. That'll go up in there, right in between there. And so basically what you do is you raise the thing up until it's up in the mount here, the body mount. And let me scrape off some of this excess dirt that's on here. This one's still pretty clean. That one's still pretty clean. And you just lift it up to put the things in. So over here I've got the other body mounts. Looks like I got a bit of a cobweb going on here. Got the body mount there. Stick that in place. And stick that in place. And I've got the bolts over here. After I took the bolts out, I have this little tin, well, half of a beer can. I've got it filled with oil. I think it's 90 weight. I don't remember exactly what kind of oil it is. It smells like it might be 90 weight, but it doesn't matter. But anyway, I put the bolts in oil, as you can see here, to coat the bolts with oil, so that they're not, quite as, to clean them off a little bit. So, let's slide over a tad bit. And according to the instructions, it says to don't mix up the bolts. You've got 3 of them. It tells you not to mix them up. You put them back in the same place they came out. But when I compared them to each other, they're all the same. So honestly, I don't think it really matters. But I'm going to try to keep them all the same anyway. But so I marked them 1, 2, and 3. I got 1, 2, and 3 starting from the front. My little method of marking something. So starting from the front, I got the first bolt, second bolt, third bolt. So here with the first bolt, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it up in there first, just to run it through the threads, so that I know that they still thread in good, and to get some of that oil up in there inside the nut, whatever it is, up inside the body, and make sure that they still work, because I want to be able to thread them in by hand a little bit when I first get it up in there. I want to be able to thread it in a little bit by hand, and then I'll come back later with the wrench and tighten them down. So this one is good. I can get that in several threads. Number 2, do the same thing with that. Dab off some of this oil and stick the second one up in there. And this is all pretty much the same thing I did on the other side, even though I didn't show you guys the other side. It's pretty much the same thing as what I did. Run the threads a few times, Make sure it works properly. I'm kind of glad I got the light for you guys this time. So yeah, that one's working. Number 3. Run number 3 up. Now it says only tighten this 15 to 20 foot-pounds, which doesn't seem like very much, does it? It sure seemed like a lot more than that taking these things out, I'll tell you that. It seemed like a lot more than the 20 foot-pounds taking them out, but of course you've got to consider rust, the rust buildup. When they first installed these in the factory, maybe it was only 15 to 20 foot-pounds, but after, you know, years of rust, this is a 99, these things have never been off. After years of rust, I'm sure it made it more difficult. So, alright, so I got those all started. Those should be good. Put those back in the oil for now. I don't have a rag on me. I got my fingers all oily. Just wipe them on my pants. That's what they're for, right? That's why I wear black pants. You can't tell. Alright, so get this, got the light. You try to position this in such a way that it gets it in place a little bit. I think this is kind of cool. You got your little jack stands there. Get it somewhat in place, and you can just raise it up to a certain point and try to finagle it into position. Yeah, almost. That's almost there. This one could go up a little bit more. Got my mud flap in the way, causing resistance. Alright. So now it's off a little bit. Put it around to a point where it matches up. Try to get these in. That's a little bit out of position. Alright. So that looks decent. I'm gonna get that as close as I can into position. Now I'm ready for the bolts. I'm going to start with the second one because I can see that the easiest from here. I'll try to dab off some of this excess oil. I'm going to start with the second one. Got my finger. Gotta make sure you line up the bushing. I don't know if I can see it. Line it up. And, alright. Is it high enough yet? Apparently not. Alright, so I gotta lift up on this a little bit to get it started. Alright, that looks like it feels like it's biting. And got number 3. Try to run this up. Make sure the bushing is lined up properly. Feels sufficient. Alright. So it feels like that's in. I got the first, or the third, and the second one in. Now, just gotta get the third one. And the bushing's fucked up on this one, I can tell already. God damn. Gosh darn it. The bushing's jacked up. I gotta. Alright. This is where it might get difficult because I can't see nothing. Gotta try to line up the hole in the bushing. There we go, with the hole in the thing. Gotta line up the holes. Alright, so now we got our third bolt. This is where it gets tricky because I've got all this crap in the way. I don't know, you can't really see it from where you're at. I'll see if I can get this a little bit better. So Since I'm on the third one. So yeah, that's about where I'm working. Right there. Alright, so now I gotta get, I can get my light in there. That's better. That feels right. And it feels like it's threading. I can't really tell. Maybe. Just need to reposition myself. It feels like the thread's starting, but it's still not quite. And maybe it doesn't feel like it's actually going in. It's not coming out. But it doesn't feel like it's going in. And I can't tell, so I can try to feel it around inside there. It feels like it's going up into the sleeve, which, okay, as far as I can tell it is. But it needs a little bit more coercion. Maybe if I tighten it up, let's see if I can get this up a little bit higher. Maybe not. Okay. No, it's in there, but it's not biting yet. I gotta reposition myself. I don't know about you guys. It's kind of hard working in some of these odd, awkward positions. I got my little cup of oil here. You can see that. I keep that on my bench for whatever might need some oil. Keep that on the bench. Okay, this one's proving to be a little bit difficult. Okay, so it's definitely not in yet. Maybe now. I'm turning it the right way, aren't I? Yeah. Alright, so this one's being kind of a challenge. No, it's still not going in yet. Alright, here's an idea. I'm going to tighten up the other two just a little bit more with the wrench so I can get it into better position. Because I've got it in the hole. I've got the bolt in the hole. It just needs to catch on the threads. So I'm going to tighten up the other two a little bit. And it's not that one. Let's see, what am I looking for? 5/8. What do I do with it? Is it this one? All right. Okay. Got the little nut driver. That one. That one. Let's see if I can get this one started. Nope. It's not starting yet. See. Not quite there. I might have to actually lay down for this a little bit. Can you guys still see? We're gonna have 15 minutes. My camera's probably gonna shut off here pretty soon. Just need to get this started. There we go. All right, so I got it started. It's probably tighter than I want it to be right now, but it started. And like I said, there isn't really much adjustment to be done on here. So get up on top, see if it looks somewhat even. Yeah, it feels even going across there. So it should be good. Should be all set. Tighten this up. Down here. Tighten that up. Hit that one again. Hit it up. Hit that one up. I just lost something. Oh, the extra little bit. All right, so there you go. Get these tightened up. And there you have it. Let's see. Turn this around. Give you guys a look-see. I can't see what you're looking at. So yeah, you got that little bolt there. Got 1, 2. That's what it looks like. And 3. So there you go. And then from the top you got this. I mean, it looks, as far as I can tell, it looks, well, that looks kind of tighter on that end. But no, you got plastic thing here creating a disturbance. That little plastic piece there, and you got something here causing disturbance too to make it look all weird. But, and it looks pretty good. And then from there, I try to get this so I can actually see what. I almost dropped the camera again. So what are we on? 18 minutes almost. Here's a mud flap. Got my little string. First, I'm gonna tie a little stop knot on the end of this string here. Little stop knot right there. Just a little overhand, whatever you call it, overhand, square knot, what have you. Run it up through here. And right there, another little overhand knot, just enough to keep it in place. And there you go. Well, there you go, folks. And this little plastic thing makes it look funny. I was thinking about taking these off, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how the inspector feels about that. So I'll probably take them off someday, but for now I'll just leave them on there. So yeah, there you have it. Oh, let me see if I can get up now. Oh, I'm trying to stand up with one hand. Yeah.